Not funny. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Not funny.
And we are live. Welcome to the Red Blue Pod number 107. Two topics, well, actually, three topics. I just forgot to mention the third one in the title. How are you, DC?
I'm doing good. How about you,
This
Multi?
this is good. Well, um, I had a crazy day. I went through a lot of issues with my job, and damn, that feels good to be here because we talked about movies, and that feels amazing. Um, so yeah, um, I didn't add enough sleep, but I will power through today, and yeah, we will talk about Love Lies Bleeding, The Fall Guy, and um, The Walking Dead 10th season. I was about to say the final season, but no, the 10th season. I wish
Uh,
the 10th season was the final season.
yeah, I kind of expect it, and we're also gonna talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Spider-Man: Homecoming, at least just for me because I won't be available on Friday. Um, so you have that going for Multi. You at least get to talk about things you do like. I do not. So
But
be
you did
cons-
like The Walking Dead.
we have Homecoming and
Yeah.
Guardians, two movies I
But you
don't I
got
hate.
The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead season 10 is great. I'll say that. But two versus one, yeah, sometimes one can beat the other two. But in this case, I don't think it can. So consider yourself lucky, Multi. Just so you know, buddy, you're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I liked every movies. It's just the goddamn show I hated. Uh, and it
Wait,
doesn't
wait, wait, wait,
improve.
wait, 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 wait. Even Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 you liked?
Actually, no. Volume 2 was actually shite. You're right on that. Um, but I will share my thoughts on Guardian 2, and oh my, he left, and my glasses fell off. Now he copies me. Look at him. Look at him. He copies me. Copycat. But I actually didn't like Guardian 2. I forgot that was the bad one.
Alright,
Yeah,
so yeah, you didn't like everything. So yeah.
yeah. I to be honest, between season 10 of The Walking Dead and Guardian, I think I would rather pick Guardian. It's like, do you want to get it by a left end or a right end? Um, I will pick the right end any day, or actually the left end, less painful, less painful. So the left end is Guardian, so it's less painful. It's instead of having like 20 hours of pain, you got like 2 hours and a half. So
Mm.
yeah,
I'm just gonna erase my memory and never and pretend I just did not just hear you say that you would rather watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I'm just gonna pretend that did
it's two
never
hour
ever.
and a half against 20.
Yeah.
And it's a bit sad for you because maybe you will miss some guests. Like I invited
Yeah.
Rosales and
Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes it's just luck, something like yeah. But yeah.
Rosales and Chillmonger. I think they will be there tomorrow, hopefully.
With
Um,
Killmonger, I've kind of lost hope in that because of how like he's kind of like it's kind of like on again, off again. He sometimes is with Rosales. I'm not sure, but yeah,
I don't
because
know if they come. That's great. If they don't, that's fine. I will be on my own talking about these two movies.
yeah,
One of which I actually enjoyed a lot. Anyway, to go back on topic, I tried to find my notes. Oh, there it is, there it is. So I completely forgot with the mess I had to deal with during the entire day. I forgot to send you the notes of the stuff you will read out for Love Lies Bleeding. So I will send it to you. and then I will send you the things for Fall Guy.
Yeah,
We will start with Love Lies Bleeding because
it's
that
love and blood. You know, who doesn't love to see love and blood together?
it's 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 a movie I think is decent. Well, actually, it's a good movie, but I didn't like it as much as the other one. Like as a reviewer, that's a better movie, but as a movie goer, I'd say the Fall Guy wins for me.
All right. So, do you want me to start reading or?
Yeah, you can
All
start
right.
reading as I copy paste the rest.
Love Lies Bleeding is a 2024 romantic thriller. Guessing that's why you probably enjoy Fall Guy more. Directed by Rose Glass. Okay. Um, from a screenplay she co-wrote with. How do you say that name? I have
Wait, let me look into it. So, what name? What name? What name?
Veronica. I literally
Uh,
have no idea how you say that.
where is it?
It's like
Weronika Tumfiliska. God damn,
all right.
that's
I'm just gonna skip. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Uh, uh,
that name is from another planet. I swear.
yeah. It is a co-production between the United Kingdom and the United States. The film stars Kristen Stewart, Caddy O'Brien, Jenna Malone, Anna Baryshnikov, Dave Franco, and Ed Harris. Set in 1989, same year as Batman 1989, its plot follows the relationship between a reluctant gym manager who is part of a crime family, not very interesting, and an ambitious bodybuilder who committed a string of murders once they get wrapped up in organized crime. This surely is a very lovely relationship. Two murderers on the loving each other. Love
And
life.
their relationship is so toxic. That's one thing about this movie. Like, I will admit something. Like, every portrayal of love in this movie is just goddamn toxic. This is like genius. Like, they were really smart because throughout the movie, like, there was a lot of lies and people lying, bleeding on the floor. So they were clever. They really thought through. Anyway, I'll let you
All
keep
right.
going.
All right. Okay. Love Lies Bleeding premiered at the Sundance Film Festival on January 20, 2024. It was released theatrically in the United States by A24, Cole's favorite genre, on March 8,
It's
2024.
a production house. It's like Hollywood, but it's not Hollywood. It's like a smaller Hollywood.
Yeah, I
Um,
had to say I just enjoy like whenever uh Cole and he just annoys Jada with A24s. It's hilarious, I have to say. Yeah. And in the United Kingdom by Lionsgate UK on May 3rd, 2024. The film received positive reviews from critics. Well, at least the film released before Star Wars Day, but okay. Okay.
yeah, it was a March movie, and I will be honest. Like after watching it, I felt guilty. I didn't go see it in theater. Like to be honest, I knew about this movie because that's on the planning and the schedule, but I thought I would hate this movie. That's why I didn't go to see it in theater. So I feel guilty because I actually liked it. Like even if I preferred the Fall Guy, I still enjoyed that one.
All
So
right.
I do think you finished reading all of it, right?
Only like I guess like the first part, but then you
Yeah.
put plot, cast, and production. So do you want to read those or?
Yeah, like
All
everything
right,
Love Lies Bleeding, yeah.
all right. The plot of the film is in 1989, gym manager Louise Lou Langston meets and falls in love with a young woman, Jackie Cleaver, who is a bodybuilder working out at her gym. Jackie, unbeknownst to Lau, has just gotten a job at a shooting range owned by Lau's estranged father, Lou Sr. After having S word that ends with an X with Lau's brother-in-law, JJ. Jackie herself is a vagrant passing through town on her way to a bodybuilding competition in Las Vegas. Lau offers her the word that gives you superhuman strength. Only saying these
Mhm.
things because of YouTube. Don't blame
Yeah,
me. Blame YouTube.
yeah.
Which Jackie initially hesitates but ends up using. The two soon have S word ends with X, and Jackie asks to stay at Lyle's apartment. Okay, for those who don't know, YouTube has this really bad like censoring stuff, so that's why we now have to say words differently.
Or
So
bedroom fun. Like that's another thing. Bedroom fun, Bedroom fun.
yeah, yeah. So don't blame us, blame YouTube. Also, YouTube, you gotta really fix your copyright nonsense. But yeah, continuing on, the cast is Kristen Stewart as Louise Lou Langston, Katie O'Brien as Jacqueline Jackie Cleaver, a rising bodybuilder, Jenna Malone as Bethany Beth Langston, Anna Baryshnikov as Daisy, Dave Franco as JJ, Ed Harris as Lou Langston Sr. The production. Love Lies Bleeding is a co-production between A24 and Film 4. Interesting name, Film 4. It is the second film to be directed by English filmmaker Rose Glass. Kristen Stewart first mentioned her involvement in the film in March 2022, as she was a fan of Glass's previous work, Sane Maud. Her cast was confirmed in April, and Barry Shinnick, I don't know how to say the last name, Katie O'Brien, Dave Franco, and Ed Harris and Jenna Malone joined the cast in June. O'Brien said in an interview that she had auditioned for the part, her first leading role 6 times. Principal photography began in I'm just going to say the state, New Mexico, in June 2022. Production concluded by August 2022.
Yeah, so that's a very interesting thing. So I will add another segment to it. That will be a new thing when we cover like 2024 movies. Um, this will be very interesting. I hope so. I hope so. So let's screen share something. There we go. Box office for Love Lies Bleeding. Um, I really suck at maths, first of all. And second, I have no idea how to read this, but I will share it with people so they read it the way they want. Like I see a lot of numbers, so I assume it made money because I see a lot of money. Um, what do you think of that? Do you think it made money?
I'm just going to have to go on YouTube and see. Yeah, it definitely does mean money. Money, money,
Money,
money,
money.
money,
So
money.
it ranks 17. So this is a bunch of numbers. Eventually, it will get more professional as we go on, but I see it's dropping. But it was like at some point it peaked in March 28th. That was like ninth rank. I assume this is among all of the other movies. Man, I wish I took a course in like economics or something like that. Maybe I would understand better all of these juicy numbers we got right now. But I see lots of zeros. Domestic 78. So I assume that 78 means 78 of the 78% of the money was coming from people in the USA because this is a USA movie, I assume, because it's A24. Um, International is 21%. So it didn't work that well outside of the USA, I'd assume. Um, and worldwide, 10 million? Is it 10 million?
Uh,
Worldwide,
worldwide.
10, 10 million?
Worldwide.
10 million. I think it's 10 million.
I I don't. It. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I was looking the completely wrong direction.
10 million, right?
Yeah, 10 million.
Well, that's a lot of money. I wish I had it.
Well, a billion is more.
Yeah, but the true question I'm wondering is where can I find like the budget of that movie?
I have no idea.
I wish that website would show the budget there. I guess this is a work in progress, and eventually we will get more professional as this goes on.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess that movie had somewhat a bit of success, I'd assume, and hope. So here's my review once I find my notes. Once I find my notes, man, my brain is so fried. I barely slept. Um, so
Rest in peace, multi-topic talk. Cause of death, lack of sleep.
tiredness, something like that. Um, okay, so I found my notes. Um, here are my two issues. It feels off that we would see the kids being around only once in the movie and they don't address them at all after a while. A lot of the movie takes place in the house of the kids, and it's just goddamn convenient that these goddamn kids are not inside the house. Because if they were in the house, not only the second lead, if we can call her that way, would be in jail, but maybe they wouldn't be even able to clean up the crime scene because there's basically at some point a crime scene they create. They basically delete the guy in his house, basically. And it's funny because like early in the movie there's a clear setup that there are kids and they are nowhere to be found in like I don't know if they caught a scene where they told oh the kids went out or something, but they were just not there at all for like 90% of the movie. So it doesn't make sense for me. I just think it's convenient and stupid. Um Next up would be plot convenience, the FBI arriving right after the girl got shot. So that was in the end of the movie. Like at the end of the movie it was full chaos. And again, it was entertaining, but damn, um, it didn't make much sense. Um, it was very contrived. Outside of that, I gotta say, good diversity there, good action, good music. Um, these characters are characters. They are more than just ideas, and I feel like there's a lot of toxic masculinity in this movie, and it's funny because it's done by women. So it's kind of hilarious how we used to hate men for being like that, but now there are women's like that. So it's almost like a critique of how we flip society around. Um, Maybe that was the intent behind it, or maybe they did it by accident. I don't know, but I did notice it, and that was kind of cool. Um, so there was also substance abuse in as one of the things throughout the movie, and that was interesting because some people may call love a substance. So there's a lot of depth I feel like in this movie, and maybe if I was smarter and had a better media literacy, I would see through more stuff. Like, there's another part, I didn't hold it against the movie because I just didn't understand it, but there's a big part that breaks the fourth wall, if you can call it that way. So basically, one of the two character becomes giant. So for most of the movie, it's grounded and realistic at some extent. They do exaggerate a bit. They they do satire a lot, but it's so grounded. But in the last act, in one of the last few scenes, one of the characters becomes a giant and she kind of squeeze uh one of the bad guys in the movie. So I don't know what was the intent behind it, but that was something. And again, I didn't hold it against the movie because I'm not quite sure I understood it. Um, so yeah, that was just a cool movie I liked. I thought I would hate the guts out of it, but I didn't. Um, there was also really good depiction of PTSD, um, and the harsh truth some of the characters tell to others works very well with lies. So again, this movie has a lot of very good substance to it. I liked it. That was cool, and um, the competition was kind of fun to witness. Now I do have an issue. I just realized I didn't mark it down, but I think about it right now, and I feel like maybe it was addressed or not. But at some point, the second lead, the bodybuilder, she basically go crazy ape on someone, and she basically beat the crap out of someone. And I feel like there are literally no consequence to these actions later in the movie, but I may be wrong. So just because of that, I'm not quite sure if I will really take away points for that, but that's something I did consider. I'm like, it should be grounded. She ends someone and there's no consequence. That's weird. Um, so yeah, I guess I don't have much more to say. Just good movie. I think I will give it a 9.5 out of 10. So yeah, that sounds like a good movie worth to rewatch, I think. Any thoughts on what I said, DC?
I no thoughts because nothing for me to say.
Okay. Well, next up will be the Fall Guy, and I realize I didn't send you the notes because my brain is fried right now. Um, so let's do this. I will send you the notes after I mark down the timestamp. The Fall Guy is just a great movie I liked. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah,
So
because
as
you watched like what, like 100 million times, and
not that much.
you
I've
choose to
seen
watch
it three
that.
times. I've seen it 3 times, and I plan on rewatching it a fourth time Friday. So tomorrow, actually. Damn, that week went fast, man. Wow, can't believe this shit. So there we go. Yeah, tomorrow my fourth viewing of that movie. So I sent you the first block that you
It's
can read
funny.
out.
Sometimes wonder why whenever like you say you have a hard time remember it. I think it's because you're watching too much of Monkey Man and the Fall Guy.
These are good movies. What do you want me to say, man? I like these. Look, The Fall Guy has genuine issues, and that makes me sad. But entertainment wise, this is peak cinema, man. There's so much in it. Anyway, I will let you read out what I just sent you
All right.
about Fall Guy.
All right, The Fall Guy is a 2024 American action comedy film directed by David Leitch and written by Drew Pearce, loosely based on the 1980s TV series about stunt performers. It follows a stuntman, Ryan Gosling's character, working on his ex-girlfriend, Emily Blunt's character's directorial debut action film, only to find himself in a conspiracy surrounding in the film's lead actor, Aaron Taylor Johnson, aka Quicksilver and Kraven the Hunter. The film also features Hannah Waddingham, Teresa Palmer, Stephanie Hsu, and Winston Duke. That Winston Duke, I believe, is from Walking Dead, one of the spin-offs. So yeah, or I believe, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking with no, sorry, I'm thinking with someone else. But yeah, The Fall Guy premiered on FXSW on March 12, 2024, and was released in the United States on May 3rd by Universal Pictures. The film received generally positive reviews from critics and has grossed 76 million worldwide. Jesus! It also set a Guinness World Record for mass cannon rolls performed in a car. Plot. Colt Severe's a Hollywood stunt performer. Almost thought his name was Cole, as a reference to R. Cole. Works as the stunt double for famous action star Johnny Cage. I'm joking, Tom Ryder. However, he is severely injured during a stunt gone wrong, and he abandons his career. And his girlfriend Judy Morano, a camera woman. The cast: Ryan Gosling as Colt Severes, Emily Blunt as Judy Morano, Quicksilver and Craven Hunter as Tom Ryder, Winston Duke as Tucker, Hannah Whitingham as Gail Mayer, Teresa Palmer as Iggy Starr, Stephanie Husu as Alma Melina. I'm just going to say that. Easier for me. Additionally, Ben King, aka the Mandarin from Iron Man 3, appears as Tom's new bodyguard, Dressler. Sarah Michaels appears as Venti Kushner. Adam Dunn appears
Kushner.
Kushner.
Venti Kushner, yeah.
Adam Dunn appears as Eliza Thornberry's father's name from Wild Thornberries, because I have no idea how you say it, and I'm not going to risk saying a different word. Matsu appears as Donnie, and Dan Reardon appears as Fry. Lee Majors and Heather Thompson, who star in the original television series, have cameo appearances in the film as prompt crew members dressed as police officers in a mid-credit scene, while Aquaman Jason Momoa cameos as himself. Interesting. Alright. Oh, Jesus.
There's a lot to say. Look, to give you an idea, one of the future podcasts I plan on making once REDBLUE is on break before another season, it will be Film Talk. And I'm just impressed by David Leitch because it's not the first David Leitch movie I've seen. I've seen many actually, and I just adore his work. I think he's probably my favorite director out there. So there's a lot to say, man. So go ahead, bro.
Alright, so in July 2010, the LA Times reported that a film based on the 1980s series The Fall Guy was in development. DreamWorks Pictures had teamed up with producers Walter F. Parks and Laurie McDonald on the project, and Martin Campbell was was in talks to direct the film. DreamWorks, through the Walt Disney Studios, aka the company that ruined Marvel vs. Capcom, Touchstone Pictures distribution label, was to release the film in North America, Latin America, country I can't say, my favorite country, Australia, and Asia, while Mr. Smith Entertainment would have handled sales in the remaining territories. In 2013, Dwayne The Rock, if you smell, Johnson was in negotiations to play the title role, and McGee was in talks to direct. In September 2020, Ryan Gosling, director David Lynch, and writer Drew Pearce were said to be working on an unnamed stuntman film that had been picked up by Universal Pictures in May 2022. It was confirmed that this project was a film adaptation of The Fall Guy, Can't Talk Today, loosely based on the TV series. The film is produced by Universal with Leitch's 87 North Productions and Gosling's Entertainment 360. With Leitch and Kelly McCormick, wonder if she's related to Kenny McCormick from South Park, producing alongside Gosling and Guyman Cassidy. Pierce is also an executive. Wait, I can't talk today. Exclusive producer, as Jeff Shawvitz, not even bothered. Variety of reported that the Australian government and New South Wales state authorities added funds to the production up to a 30 million and 14.5 million respectively. With Paul Fletcher, Australia's federal Minister for Communication, Urban Infrastructure, Cities and Arts, estimate a boom to the local economy, over 1,000 Australian cast and crew, and more than 30,015 Australian film extras. Guy, can't talk today.
So that's why we got so many people in the movie. I'm impressed. These are crazy numbers. Anyway, keep going.
Emily Blunt was cast in August 2022, and Aaron Taylor Johnson and Stephanie who's joined in October, and Winston Duke, Hannah Weddingham, and Teresa Palmer were cast the following month. Gosling and Blunt said that they took inspiration from Leach and his producer wife, Kelly McCormick, for the romantic relationship between their characters. Blunt's role was originally a makeup artist and was written to be a first-time director before she received a draft of the script. Blunt had some input on the character, stating that we all kind of built her together, because I think maybe in the original script she was quite severe and that sort of tough director. She thought it was more interesting to see someone who is in a situation where they're on their way home. Um,
Are you okay, bro? The
Speaking, your voice is different. It's louder, and I can. There we go. Oh god, where were we? Okay, yeah. Where they're over. Okay, I'm just gonna go back. She thought it was more interesting to see someone who is in a situation where they're way over their head. For the character, Blunt took some inspiration from director Greta Gerwig and several people she had met. So, are you back with us, Multi? Is everything okay with the audio going good?
I hope so. Is it okay?
Okay, that's far better, way better.
Perfect.
And Multi's gone again, so I had to keep you people entertained.
Oh, so you're done reading? Oh, you're damn right.
Yeah,
Greta
I'm done
Gerwig,
reading.
goddamn. Okay.
uh,
My injury is bothering me so much. Like my mind is just not there tonight. That's a miracle you're here. So let's showcase some box office something. Even if oh, that's the wrong page. Damn. Um, failed. So I gotta say, I've
you,
heard a lot about this movie, and I know this one bombed. Maybe not really hard, but it bombed. I don't think it's doing well at all, and it's kind of sad.
do you want
Um,
to take a? You want me? You just want to like rest, Multi, because you say you're very tired.
nah. Anyway,
Okay.
what I said basically. Oh yeah. Um, on streams, I did hear about this movie costing like 140 million, and as of right now it's doing 106 million. So basically it lost like 4,000 million. 40,000 million. That's a lot. And it's weird because we also got like Kingdom of the Planet of the Ape, which is next week. Um, it has a very similar budget, but it made a bit more money. But I don't think it's performing that well. But they are in their week 2 or 3, while this movie is on their week 4. So they had an extra week to make more money, but I feel like that extra week is wasted the moment you release a new movie. So I feel like what may have damaged that movie is the fact that Kingdom of the Planet of the Ape was like the following week. So people were just like, oh, we know that IP more than the other one, so let's go see Ape instead of Fall Guy. And it's kind of sad because the Fall Guy was far better than whatever Ape movie we got after. Um, anyway, let's try to make some sense out of it. I guess that based on these numbers, most of the money was made on the opening weekend, I think. I'd assume, because I only see a drop off. And it's sad, and I don't get it because that's a goddamn good movie. Maybe people are just like, oh, let's go see it in theater. No, let's go see it digital instead of going in theater. Maybe that's another factor. So, yeah, like digital platforms and such really hurt movies a lot. And what makes me a bit uh, laugh is how here it's really 50-50. Half of it is domestic and half of it is international. So it's very different than Love Lies Bleeding. So maybe people from USA crave more for Love Lies Bleeding than The Fall Guy. I don't know. And it's also funny because that movie actually made more money than Love Lies Bleeding, but it had a bigger budget. So maybe, man, that's weird. Because I know it had a bigger budget. Like, there's two big names, Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling. The moment you got these two big names, it will cost you a lot of money. Um. Anyway, this movie I got so much to say because I adore it, and I I just like that one so much. Um. Okay, so let's read through my notes. So, I will actually read out my notes on Letterbox because I do think these are the most complete one. Do I still sound good?
Yeah, you sound normal. You sound like
Okay,
normal multi. You don't sound like crazy multi going insane after watching Walking Dead. You sound normal.
perfect. So yeah, the Fall Guys. So I just adore this movie. It's I will read through the notes. 1 second. So I'd say this year it's my second favorite movie. It's not the second best in my books. The second best would go to Doom Part 2, but anytime, any day, I would rather rewatch The Fall Guy over Doom. It's
Is it because of that one like scene where it was like a chase and you said it should have been like 15 seconds cut short?
actually it's for lots of reason. I feel like Doom Part 2 was just way too long for its own good, and even if I liked it, I don't want to sit through 2 hour and 45 minute when I feel like that same movie, the same story could have lasted for 2 hours. I just don't understand all of these director and people that are like, let's make everything longer and last longer. No, no, you don't need to. Like, the Fall Guy is a tight 2 hours and it's perfect. It's fast paced and it's really good. Like, it gives a 45 minute per arc or act, whatever. And that's the perfect time, I think. Um, so yeah, it's really the pacing. Uh, and it's funny because I just realized I had other notes for Love Lies Bleeding. Anyway, Fall Guy. I will click on show more. Okay. So I will start by saying, as a movie enjoyer, this movie is peak entertainment. And as a nice commentary about movies pretending or not to have substance and people being able or not to understand substance to movies. They did a lot of metaphor and allegory that were really funny. I feel like The Fall Guy is also a parody on Hollywood in general, and it's coming from people that understand the others in that place, that weird place. Um yeah. Now my issues. Uh my first issue would be a plot convenience about the producer knowing about the voice recording proof and where to find it. Now I get it, it's a satire, don't take the movie too seriously, but I do when it comes to story. Like, it's BS. It's like one scene they have the recording ready, and the next scene the villain is just there. Oh, I will grab that recording and flee with it instead of destroying it. And if she didn't know about the recording, we wouldn't have like one of the best action sequence on the movie, but it still feels off. I don't like it. Like, it's forced. It doesn't feel right. It just doesn't. Um, so again, that moment is contrived. The sole fact that she didn't destroy it and she wanted to run away with it, like, it feels so stupid. And I know the movie is silly. I get it. The movie is silly. It has a lot of satire, but sometimes they want me to suspend disbelief way too much, and this is one of these times. Um, my second issue would be, oh, there's a full-on shootout nighttime, yet no cops came in, even if they do exist in the universe. Like earlier in the movie, the cops just showed up in some kind of alley where Colt is, and they have that talk, that chat. So in that universe, the cops are there, they exist, but they're only there when the plot wants them to be there. Because of course, if the cops would intervene, uh, they would be like more money spent on extras and more money spent in flashy action. So again, I thought that was stupid. So they, like, by the end of the second act, there's a big shootout. Like, they're on boats. It's like a James Bond movie where they're all on boats and they shoot at each other, and there's like full on noise. It's like a war zone, and like no cops is showing up. Like, they wait until an entire boat is blowing up and bunch of shit is on fire until they finally show up. But it's like there's no siren in the background. They just showed up because there was a big explosion. They don't come earlier when there was a shootout. No, it's I just thought that was convenient and annoying. Even if it gave a great scene where Ryan Gosling character shows his growth and he's like, he thinks he will die and he will be like, oh, this is my farewell, and I'm sorry, and that's one of the artist thing to do. And that goes in one of the theme of that movie being toxic masculinity, because for most of the movie, Ryan Gosling, he tries his art to hide his emotions, and that's hilarious. Um, so even when I find issues, I find other good stuff about it. My third issue would be another plot convenience bumping into the guy in the bar, and it's funny because the guy in the bar was a cool character, but I still cannot remember his name. I'm sorry. He is a great character. He was really cool. He was entertaining. The actor did his job. The name of the character just didn't stick to my mind. But the character itself was really interesting and good. That's why he is not in my issues. But again, it was very convenient. Oh, there's that guy in the bar. He will be the ally. So if the guy wasn't in the bar, then the main character would be left alone in a mess, like in deep trouble, in the shite as we call it. So it's just very convenient. It's I don't like it. I don't.
Multi, I have to say, I'm very impressed that after watching a movie 3 times in a row, 3 times, you couldn't even remember a character's name. I'd say that's very impressive. I have to say.
To my defense, that character is more of a plot device than the character in itself, and that character is doesn't really have a character arc, so he's not that important. He is important, but to the plot.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, I'm very impressed by how you couldn't even remember his name. That's all. I just kind of pointed out. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like three times. Maybe first time. Oh yeah, but I'd say three times. Yeah, I'm just impressed
I'm
because
sure on a fourth viewing I won't even know his name.
very impressive, Multi. I think you broke a world record. I have to say. So Guinness World Record, right? Multi-topic talk as part of it, where you couldn't remember a character's name after watching a movie like three times. Very impressive, I have to say.
To
I'm
my
sure.
defense, that character had four scenes, but that character was still very likable and enjoyable. So again, he's not. He is a good character. His name just didn't stick to my mind. Like it's not really the character that's important. Again, um. So these were my three issues, and now I will bring another thing. Usually in shootout, I nitpick the guns plays. However, in this movie, it was well made. It's a lot of timing issues and when people shoot and proper cover making everything more believable. So like the gunplays in this movie were really smart. It was the same thing for most of the John Wick franchise, and David Leitch was part of the John Wick franchise. So I can bet that's linked. That's the common denominator, if I can call it that way. Anyway, these were my issues. Now, um, there was an issue I did debunk. The cops not finding the corpse with the main character trying to show them. It ended up not being an issue since maybe lots of time passed and the lead was still confused because of the substance that were in his system. And on top of that, they really tried the villain. They really tried to frame the murder on the fall guy, which was the main character, and it's right down the alley of that team of that movie. There's a fall guy there. Get it? Fall guy fell for the crime. Anyway, that was clever. Um, Now, another thing, after further thinking, I did debunk one of my issues that could have been viewed by others as an issue. The villain saying he will make it look like a self delete, yet he tries to burn alive the main character. At many instances, the villain is shown as someone that is indeed really stupid, and the movie does a lot of satire. So again, they're like, "Oh, we will make it look like you ended yourself," but then they find a very contrived way, and they also did poke fun at James Bond. So that movie has so many Easter egg. I feel like it has so many things to offer to anyone that loves cinema in general. So when I see that nobody went to see this movie to watch it, it breaks my heart. That movie is so good. It deserved better. Anyway, these were my debunk issues. So I guess I will keep going with some kind of review there. The movie plays and mocks a lot of the movie tropes. Great movie about second chances. Great action and music. Very entertaining story and fun characters and great humor. What if behind the scenes characters got the spotlight to become front and center for 2 hours? It's the Fall Guy in a nutshell. The title has many meanings, and villains were great. This is a top tier David Leitch experience for any John Wick or Bullet Train fans. I liked both movies, Bullet Train and John Wick. These are just wow. And this is just the best version of these two. Um so yeah. A lot of respect there. Great movie. Um and it will be a first time here. A first time. I will give this movie a 9.2 out of 10. I know it's weird. I feel like it deserves more than a 9 because among all of the 9 I gave, this one is the best. This one is the one that offers the most. Um, so yeah, let's hope DC is back. Um, DC, are you back? Maybe he is not back. Um, so I guess we move on to The Walking Dead Season 10. I know it's not on the title. I am very sorry about that. Um, but yeah, The Walking Dead Season 10 was terrible. I hated Season 10 of The Walking Dead. I don't understand DC choosing that show. I just don't. Why, DC? Why do you want people to suffer? I cannot wait for him to come back and to explain himself. Really. Um. So season 10 made me rethink. When I was watching season 4, I thought that was rock bottom the show could get. And I remember giving a 3 out of 10 to season 4 of The Walking Dead. But the catch here, the catch. After further thinking, and as I am about to finish this show, I realized I was too gentle with season 4 of The Walking Dead. I think after further thinking, season 4 of The Walking Dead deserves a 2.5 out of 10. And now that leads back to season 10. Season 10 is my second least favorite season, so that was a train wreck. I hated the experience. Yeah. So that was post pandemic, I think. I'm pretty sure. Actually, no. That was the season right in the middle of the pandemic. So at first they had a 16 episode plan. The pandemic hits. They had an extension. That was a goddamn mistake. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were doing. They don't know how to handle 16 episodes. How can they freaking handle 22? I swear, this show is a mistake. It should have been deleted upon birth. No, maybe no. Okay, after season 1. So, I gotta say, season 10 has more bad lighting and or color grading, followed by pacing. Lots of episodes are way too long without any valid reason to be that long. Pacing, the season was way too long. 4 out of the 6 episodes were filler, even among the 16 original. Too many episodes were filler. A 22 episode season could have been trimmed down to 10 episodes. Story was very contrived. The entire season was out of greed and filler. That was bad. Now, I will admit something. There's a few things to enjoy. Negan was cool. Could have ended the show well again. The action was entertaining. The new characters were entertaining. The music was cool. And that's it. And that's it. Like, some of the lows this season had were painful. That was bad. I don't know any person in their right mind that can defend this show. Season 10 is just puke. It's disgusting. It gives me headache. My. So DC, are you back? I hope you will come back soon because I feel like I've said everything. So I will tease something right now because DC is still not back. So what I want to tease right now is a retrospective about The Walking Dead. And this will be a trilogy of videos. Video number 1, I cover the first 4 seasons. Video number 2, I cover season 5 to 8. And the final part of this retrospective will be season 9 to the spin-off. So 9, 10, 11, and spin-off. So that's the idea there. Hopefully we can have some guests to talk about it. Hopefully DC will be back soon. So next week we got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We got 2 James Bond movie. This is getting exciting. Really interesting movies. Anyway, that was a short rant here. I tried to buy some time. Hurry up, DC, please. So I guess to buy some time, I will share with all of you my worst 3 episode of season 10 of The Walking Dead. Coming in last place, we got season 10, episode 8, with a 3.5 out of 10. In second place, we got season 10, episode 3, with a 4 out of 10. Followed by season 10, episode 9, with a 4 out of 10. And I don't even need to look up in my notes. I can bet, I can swear, pacing is at least one of these issues, because this show pretend it adds substance. This show wants to be very long. It's like they're paying these people to waste screen time. This is how it feels. Now, the top 3 episodes in season 10 would be, in first place, season 10, episode 10, with a 9.7 out of 10. In second place, we got season 10, episode 1, with a 9.5 out of 10. In third place, we got season 10, episode 12, with a 9.5 out of 10. Now, some of you may wonder, oh, but your top 3 is like top tier episode. That's true. Oh, he is back.
Yeah. Sorry for the long wait. Yeah, I am back.
Yeah, so I bought some time. I kind of shared my thoughts on freaking 10. I ate this shit.
Okay.
10 was horrendous, bro. And I started 11. This is painful.
11's good. At least for me, it's good. I'm kind of shocked 11 is not good for you. I mean,
I'm 5 episodes in. I'll take a nap after the podcast, but like right after I'm coming back from work, I will watch other episodes. Where are you at right now?
I'm still on episode 15. I should be making progress tomorrow, actually. I should make progress. And I should also make progress on Sunday. But yeah, unless luck are going our way, then yeah. But I should make progress tomorrow and Sunday. So
if by Friday the 31st you are done, I think we can cover season 11 by then. But again, if you don't have the time, it's fine. We will postpone to by the end of season 5, which is the end of June, the start of July. But if you have enough time, maybe it will be on the 31st. I will try to finish season 11 by the 31st of May. And if you're also done with that season, then we will cover it there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we will cover it by June or July. So we will kind of do the same the show did around the same point. They took a break, and we are taking a break. Because next week, we are not talking about Walking Dead. I hopefully not. I don't think I will have enough time to finish season 11. I won't force myself because It's bad. I look. So
Uh,
far at the same point, season 10 was better, but I've learned the hard way that The Walking Dead you cannot judge it with only 5 episodes because most of the start of each season I actually liked. It's like right after the first five, like there's a cut, there's like a jump, and they go down the cliff. That's all it felt like. Um, I feel like the first few episodes in season 10 were solid. Then we got a bunch of dog shit crap that I wanted to forget I have seen. And then we got a few good episodes I like episode 12 is freaking amazing. Then we got a bunch of freaking dog shit episode, and oh, we are back with quality again. It's just not consistent. And the more I think about it, the worse it becomes. So, what did you think of season 10?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. It's not as good as 9 or even 1 or 2, but it's good. It still has some good moments. At least this section. No, really enjoy how it still continues on the Whisper arc for a bit, and then around this time is when it starts to let me just check for a bit. Like around this time is when they start ending the Whisper arc and getting ready to actually end the show, which I do like.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm with you on that.
yeah. I do enjoy some of the characters around this point, and hold on. All right, and yeah, I'd say this is really enjoyed Negan like always. Think he's one of the best parts of the show. Um,
He's the only good character left. They are all dog shit.
Multi's he's gonna delete me after this, but I enjoyed Princess's character.
Actually, I admit this one. She's colorful. She's cool, but she's nowhere near as good as Negan. But she's cool.
Not gonna lie, I actually thought you would have been like, "Oh, I hate this princess character. She's not the like." I actually like that when I first watched season 10. Like recently and finished it recently. I was like, "Oh man, that character Multi would hate like in an instant." Like,
No, she's actually my second favorite character as of right now.
yeah. Well, I do like Princess's character. I do enjoy how goofy it is, but at the same time, it's a comic book TV show like Marvel, like DC, so that's why I'm fine and I'm willing to accept it. But yeah, um, I do enjoy the way they take down the Whisperers. With Alpha, with Negan being able to beat her or being able to delete her. Sorry, which actually is in the comics, which I think is a very clever way.
Yeah,
Yeah. I do enjoy the way they take down Beta. Yeah. And I do like the setup for the Commonwealth. In season 11, as well. I enjoyed Magna's character arc, as well, even though it's very brief. And yeah. Um, I do have some issues with the season. I'd say from after they finished the Whisper arc, they kind of delve into to like some lame episodes. Like seriously, I feel like these episodes were kind of pointless, except with hit when
wait. Do you agree with me on that? Oh, wait.
Mul-
DC admits that they are filler episodes.
Well, here's the thing, Multi. A filler
This
episode
is
for
a
me.
moment of truth, guys.
I'm not saying it's filler. For me,
It's filler.
filler.
I'm sorry, DC, but it's filler. Look, I will say among these 22 episodes, there are 10 episodes that really mattered. And I include the Commonwealth shenanigans there because, let's be honest, they meet Princess. That should be an entire episode. They meet Princess, an entire episode with the setup with Commonwealth. And the rest is filler. And I'm sorry, Negan fans. Episode 22 was filler as well. It didn't bring anything else.
I mean, normally I would have agreed, but I really can't say that would. That's like how I would describe filler, but you have your own you have your own way of thinking what's filler and what's not, and I have my own way. So I don't really think.
Take it out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the story. Negan is Negan. Like, it's an origin story. So I will say something. If that was like season 6 or 7, where it's the first time we get to see Negan, that would be very different. I would be like, you know what? This is a nice origin story, but we don't need it anymore. The show is no longer about him. He is in the show, that's true, but if he gets that kind of treatment, why don't we get like the same kind of treatment with every other characters? Like, uh, that girl that had a scar on one of her jaw, that was sleeping with everyone, basically. Forgot her name.
I
Um,
I have no idea who you're talking about.
or like, oh, let's have a origin story of the bearded guy that was working for Negan in season 7 or 8. Um, we don't need this shit. Uh,
Yeah, well, I will in my. I don't want to necessarily say it's a defense, but in the show's defense, that comic that there was a comic about like Negan's origin story, and it was released around season 7 and 8, which in the comics around 2017 to 2018 was around the Whisperer arc, so or at least the end of the Whisperer arc. So that's why I can kind of forgive it for that. I do agree it should have been at least somewhere around there, or maybe even season 9. But I do like this placement, so not defending it by a whole lot, but I'm just hoping you can at least either understand the placement or have a better idea.
Now I get it. Like, they wanted to flesh out more Negan, and again, Negan is one of my favorite character. But I swear, if I rewatch, I won't watch that episode again, and I will still understand the story and Negan's character. Because technically speaking, most of his character arc is kind of over by the end of season 10, because now he accepts that his old ways are done, and it has nothing to do with episode 22. It's just that now he is kind of forced into that Alexandria shenanigans.
Yeah.
And season 11, I will give credit where credit is due. They progress it further. Like, now he is no longer the guy in charge, and he has that struggle where he disagrees with someone in charge. And I like a lot that aspect. But again, to go back on topic, um, Negan, season 10, at that point at least, by 22, his character arc for that season at least was over. So you don't need to flesh out furthermore backstory. Hell, there was a lot of theories. Like, I thought before they revealed he was a gym teacher at high school or whatever, I thought it was a special care counselor or something like that. I thought maybe he was a psychologist, or maybe he was something like, there was a Levitas. There was a mystery around, oh, Negan backstory. Like, it can be all of these things, but now they straight up tell you, oh, he's a gym teacher. And not only they tell you, but they don't even bother showing you. They just tell you, oh, this is what you are. Or like,
I
oh,
mean, I
this
mean,
is why you are no longer there. You hit someone, but they don't really show you hitting anyone. So, like, again, there's a bunch of issues with that episode.
in that defense, when Negan talks to the guy in the chair around the end of the episode, that's actually the explanation as to why he actually about his job and why he got fired. So, again, I can kind of understand why you probably didn't pay attention because you can't deal with the Walking Dead anymore. Which, luckily for you, we're almost done with the show. So,
I did pay attention. It was
I.
explaining all of that. But again, it's more exposition dumps.
Oh,
And
okay. So, like, show don't tell, like that. Okay, that I can kind of understand. But yeah, continue.
but again, it took away the freaking mystery of his origins, like what he was before the fall and before all of that mess. And again, it could have been more interesting when it was in season 7, 8, and slash 9, because at that point there was a bit of mystery around Negan, and some can argue and point out that at, before it was sent in a cell, that it wasn't necessarily the most reliable narrator you can have, because it was on Inge. He would go on crazy deleting spree and such. Like, you didn't know if you could really trust him. Like, the way he was dealing with stuff, was he really trustworthy? And that was the point of what he was. So if you told that backstory during the days you were like, oh, he is a manipulator, he is a unreliable narrator and such, there's still mystery, because you're like, what if everything that's going on there is just a fabric of his mind? It's just someone or something that he created for himself. But now, with the setup we got with season 10, like, when he tells that story, you know it's true. Because at that point, he is not the unhinged, crazy bastard he used to be. So, again, that.
To be fair, a lot of the characters in The Walking Dead are kind of a bit unhinged because of the zombie apocalypse. So with Negan, I'm not saying you're not necessarily wrong. It's just I don't think it's fair to say because
Yes, it's fair. I'm not wrong. Again, so as of season 10, we know we can trust Negan. We know it. If you tell me otherwise by season 10, you didn't understand the show. It wasn't on Edge anymore. And the flashback of episode 22 was telling the viewer and us and everyone that it's prior it took the mental of Negan. It's prior is him being on Inge. So you can trust what he is telling. So I know you like this show, and maybe you hate it when people criticize something you like, but that's a fact. It was on Edge, and I'm not criticizing the fact that it was on Edge with season 7, 8, and 9. I criticize the fact that they waited after that to ruin some of the things that could have been up to interpretation if they were told in a different uh, way or in a different manner. Like, again, when he was on Inch, so that would let you think, oh, maybe you cannot trust him, maybe he's lying about that. Now you know he told the truth, and that what bothers me. Like, there's no the magic of what was Negan before the fall. It was just a gym teacher, and they were freaking lazy. They tell it through exposition dumps instead of showing you. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. I kind of lost what I was gonna say. So yeah. Sorry, it's just sometimes like when you were just explaining like some of your issues, like yeah, I can kind of get it, but I feel like you're taking it the wrong way at times. But
No, like, look, I'm sorry to tell you this, but I feel like your media literacy is lacking, man. I said it in the past, so like, don't come and argue with me on that, because I'm sure you didn't get everything I said because your media literacy is not the best.
fair point. But yeah. So I'm gonna just quickly wrap up my thoughts on Walking Dead. Yeah, the Here's Negan episode was one of the best episodes, I'd say. It actually made me tear up, which I'll be honest, when Glenn and Abraham were deleted by Negan, even I didn't tear up.
Yeah,
This was this was like the first time The Walking Dead actually made me tear up. What?
that's fine, because that was for shocking value.
No,
So it's
actually no. For how sad Negan's story actually is, and how because I'll be honest, I always assume that and how like innocent Lucia is, and I'll be honest, I also like the dyed hair that they did because I think it makes us show that she's not more than just someone close with Negan. It actually makes her like she was someone special in the world, which when you hit in the apocalypse is very sad. So that's why I thought, yeah. Um, yeah, maybe it's because just a personal thing that I do that I like, but yeah. I will also say that the way how they handle Negan's character in this episode actually works well for me. I know for you it did not because it can I know for you it didn't work because like some plot holes and all that or like
Not necessarily. Again, it's the execution. The way they present it is dog shit. It's too late, and it ruins some of the things we had before.
yeah. So I know
It
for
doesn't create plot hole by any mean. I never mentioned plot hole, and again, it's the execution and the timing. I think these are the biggest sins. Like, if they showed me all of that stuff instead of placing it in goddamn exposition dump, I won't have uh, that many issues, or if they didn't told you that much about his goddamn backstory and it was still a mystery, that would be great. Or again, if they told you that same episode in the unhinged episode, you're like, can I trust what I just seen? Can I really say, oh, he was really a cheater teacher prior? Or do you really get what I'm trying to say
yeah,
there?
yeah, yeah. Other things I enjoyed about the episode was just how it's set up. Like I actually think that the setup for the episode works well. Like with Negan and he's in his abandoned area and he's seeing his season 7 self or season 6, season 7 self. It's very good development. It really shows how far Negan changed.
Well,
Uh,
it's 12 years prior. I think that's 12 years prior. So that would be like season 1 again.
no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like that's before the zombies. I'm talking about when he's in the room, he's just sitting, and
Oh
then
yeah.
that scene. Yeah. Now, like I said before, I will admit that the last few episodes, other than Here's Negan and the Commonwealth Soldier episode, other than those two episodes, these episodes are literally pointless. Because I'll be honest, I actually was bored,
Yeah.
and yeah, the reason why I was bored is because I realized, is this the actual episode? Because like, I'll be honest, it was boring for how like uninteresting and how like, and I was like, I could be using my time for something better. I could literally have just skipped those episodes. And I'll be honest, the only episode I actually skipped was the Morgan episode in season 6, where he's just
Wait, you skip that shit? Are you
because
kidding me, dude?
I'll
I
be
went
honest.
through every single goddamn episode of a show I didn't chose, and you dare to skip something and something you chose.
I'll be honest, that it was because for me the episode literally had no purpose other than to say here's how Morgan became the way he is, even though they could have just oh, why? But they could have done a better route. Like say, oh look, Morgan actually bumped into the Fear crew for the characters from Fear the Walking Dead, one of the spinoffs, and they showed him a better way, and that would have been better. I actually would have connected the two shows, and it also wouldn't ruin that show because around season 4, Morgan goes into that show, and trust me, Multi, at that point, you're gonna wish you like The Walking Dead more because that show is so bad. Just to let you know.
I'm 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 pissed, bro. Like, you skipped that episode, but you dare to watch the Negan one, and I feel like the Negan
Oh,
one is a worse version of the Morgan one.
well, I'll be honest, it's because Negan is an actual good character.
Morgan was a very good character. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but he had
But
character arc,
but
something most of the cast in this goddamn show lack.
but in my defense, also Morgan is no longer part of the show, and Negan is still part of the show.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah,
this is a fact.
yeah. So
Maybe
anyway,
you don't like Morgan, and that's
yeah.
fine.
Ever
But
since ever since season 3, I didn't like him.
Morgan wasn't there in 3.
Yeah, he was. He was in that episode where Rick,
The one with Michonne and Rick on a trip to town and they meet Morgan there.
yeah, that one.
That's my. I almost forgot that one existed.
Yeah, I don't blame you because for how much you clearly been saying you enjoy the show, so yeah, I don't blame you. But like I said, I didn't like Morgan in that episode, and ever since then, I couldn't care less about his character. Like his appearances in 5, he almost appears like a cameo at times. To the
Yeah,
point, oh yeah,
actually, he only appears at the end of 5 to reveal
feels.
that he is tracking down Alexandria, and he finds Alexandria in 6.
I mean, he also appeared in the first at the end of the first, like a post credit at the end of the first episode. But yeah, and he had a few appearances here and there, but yeah, nothing important. I'll be honest, nothing important.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, the last episodes were just like the last few episodes of season 10 were not good. They were boring, pointless. And this point, I will actually agree with Multi, say that they were filler because you could literally just skip them. And keep in mind, other than the morning episode, I don't skip an episode of Walking Dead because unlike say Arrow or Flash, where you can skip an episode, I feel like in this show you really can't because like you could actually miss some important details.
Disagree, but keep going.
Well, I have my opinion, Multi, and you have
Yeah,
yours.
keep going.
So, in my opinion, I wouldn't miss an episode. But yeah, other than that, I think season 10 is a good season. Is it
Yeah.
quite as good as 9? No, but it's still not a bad season.
For me, it's the second worst. Like it made me rethink of goddamn season 4. Season 4 dropped lower. Now season 4 for me is a 2.5, and this horrendous season 10 is a 3.
Yeah, well,
What about you? What would be your grade out of 10?
I would probably give this the season. Probably. I don't know. I'm really going for like a 9.1, but at the same time an 8 because on one hand, like I said, I do enjoy certain aspects. I enjoy the Devil May Cry characters, Dante and Virgil. That was a joke, by the way. I do enjoy the Whisperers. I do enjoy some of the Commonwealth setup. But at the same time, like, there's some episodes that are pointless. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Katana Michonne's final episodes in the season, which I completely forgot about, but that was a great episode. You know, I do like how it goes from like alternate timelines. I like that, but it's not like to a point where it overtakes the show. So I do enjoy that. Um, Overall, I'll probably just give it an 8.9 because it has its issues, but it's not like a bad season.
Okay. Well, I guess now this is the outro and your thoughts on both topics for tomorrow. So,
All
what
right.
did you think of Guardian and Homecoming?
I'm gonna start with Guardians, and because it's the one I actually like I like more out of these two, which is not saying
What? What? No, that's a crime, bro.
that does not mean I like it. I actually still hate Guardians.
That's a crime nonetheless. But keep going.
Okay. So what's this? Never mind. So like I said, this film is really bad. For starters, biggest issue. They revealed in the trailers that Ego is the father of Star Lord instead of hiding that as a film reveal. It's like what? WTF? What? Like thing like that. Because
We
that
were already suspicious, and that would be a fault on the trailer and not the movie.
no, it goes for the movie because
Why? It's a trailer. It's meant to sell tickets.
they revealed too much.
How is it a bad thing for the movie if the trailer wants to sell
You're
tickets for the
revealing
movie?
too much. You're revealing an important part of the movie.
But that's fine. It doesn't matter. It's a trailer. That's the point of a trailer. It's like saying, "Oh, the trailer shows the best action scene." Yes, yes, it does. That's the point of a trailer. A point. Do you know what a trailer should do? It's a marketing tool, man. You need to
Yeah,
sell your ticket with that goddamn trailer. So even
yeah,
if you reveal it,
but I think it spoiled a very important part that they could have had hid like as like a shocking reveal. But anyways, I believe this is the point where Drax becomes the comic relief character to a point where he's not even funny. And
I
this
think nobody is funny in that movie.
that I agree, no one is funny, but I feel like with Drax, he took the worst head. Like the way how he becomes later on is literally like you can almost like I think even more people would take Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat more seriously than Drax. And trust me, I think I've taken Johnny Cage more seriously than Drax in the MCU after this. So Drax becomes easily one of the worst MCU characters after this. Other issues I have. Um, hmm, I just again, it's a lot of my same issues with normal MCU issues. There's a lot of plot conveniences, like the fact that the Guardians just stumble upon Ego is too much.
No, they don't stumble, and he wants them there. He attracts them. So usually I am the first one to point out plot convenience, but here it wasn't.
True, but probably because we both have different opinion, different MCU issues.
No, it's the telling. The ego wanted to meet his son. That was the point of that movie. You cannot hold it against the movie if someone searched for someone else and they find him. Do you really think it's a plot convenience? That was the
Well,
quest. That was the goal of the character. He reached his goal. Look, I'm all in. I hate this movie. I can't believe I defend it, but this is not a valid plot convenience there.
maybe for you it's not, and trust me.
Whatever. I give up. Whatever. Keep going.
Okay, I'm just gonna quickly wrap up. The comedy fell flat. Nothing was funny. Rocket and Groot's dynamic, I couldn't care less about. I couldn't care for Groot's quote unquote death in Guardians because he was just their character. I couldn't care less about him. Gamora and Nebula's sibling rivalry again couldn't care about in this film. The fact he had to continue is stupid. Um, those are my issues.
Okay.
uh,
Okay. Well, I guess Homecoming now because you hated that one worst.
yeah. Where do I begin with Homecoming?
Did
Uh,
you understand Homecoming? I will start by asking that. Sorry, I feel like I roast you, but bro, like, I'm really wondering if you understood Homecoming.
oh, I do, and
Okay, what's the film is about? What the movie is about?
high school prom that has annoying characters who can't shut up for one day.
You
Uh,
didn't understand the movie. Perfect. What was Tony Stark character arc in the movie?
just be there for like 5 minutes and being a complete douchey mentor to Peter Parker. Which, yeah, that's one issue I'm gonna start off with.
You didn't understand Tony Stark
No,
character
I
arc.
think I do.
No, you didn't. You just told
I
me what it was. Okay, tell me. Okay, describe me Tony character arc. Describe to me not just cameos, really his role in the movie. What was Tony character arc?
yeah,
If you understand it, tell me.
he's meant to be Spider-Man's mentor and teach him how to do his stuff. But, and there's a big but here, he's very bad at doing it. You wanna know why? He literally thinks a guy wearing technology, and can fly is weird. Like as if he hasn't even seen that before when he's literally fought alongside a god and a green monster, that being Hulk. So a guy in a flight suit is more unnatural to him than a green monster.
No.
You're trying to defend the movie, even you can't, Multi.
No, I'm just desperate because whatever I will say, you won't listen because you will tell me, oh, that's your opinion. So I give up, man. That's as simple as that. Because you don't understand Tony Stark, but you will tell me, yes, you do, but you don't.
Well, now you know how I feel with Walking Dead sometimes, where
Not really, because you don't understand Walking Dead as well. Like, your media literacy is bad. I'm sorry, DC, but that's reality. Like, you think Tony Stark is only a mentor. That's part of it, but that's like the cherry on the sundae. It's not the entire sundae. It's like the surface level. It's like saying, oh, Spider-Man wears blue and red. You don't really understand what's underneath it. You don't really understand the process or the execution of it, yet you will hate it and nitpick it and say it's bad, but you don't understand what's underneath it. You don't.
I'm only criticizing the plot and how the characters act in the film.
No, you say Tony Stark is just there for a cameo. No, he's not just there for a cameo.
I didn't even use the word cameo. I said he's just in there to, like, he's only in there to be a mentor, but he's pretty bad at doing it.
And again, you're wrong on that because he was good at doing it. And it's not up to interpretation. It's not up to interpretation. You just like the understanding.
But Multi, I pointed out he thinks Vulture, the main villain, who's just a normal guy wearing flight technology, is weird or unnatural, and like he couldn't even believe it. Do you think, like,
if he really didn't believe it, he wouldn't have sent the FBI after them. He was trying to be supportive to Peter. But again, I think it's a lost cause. We won't argue on that one. You don't understand the movie, but keep going.
Okay, I'm just gonna... Okay.
It's the same thing with Civil War, bro. Like, you didn't understand Civil War, but you still dunk on it. So keep going with Homecoming.
I'm gonna constantly dunk on the MCU movies no matter what. So, sorry, you can't defend these movies, Multi.
Yes, because I do understand the movies when you don't.
In other words, you just get help from other people, but okay.
No, I don't get help from other people. Did I got help when I told you Dormammu was beat by Brain over Brown? No, I'm the one that brought this up. And now the same thing happens like with Civil War. Another good example, Civil War. You didn't understand the purpose of that guy, and I was the one that brought this up. And it wasn't someone else. And here I'm telling you, you don't understand Tony Stark arc, or you only understand what's on the surface and you don't even bother trying to go underneath it, and then you say it's bad. Well, you don't even understand the full thing.
Because
if your media literacy was better, I will let you do your thing and won't even try to defend it. But it's your lack of understanding that makes me react because you don't understand what you're watching, DC.
With Tony Stark, I can't even comment because he's literally barely in the movie. Like, seriously, they promote him like half of the time. Like, almost every homecoming pitch, almost every homecoming poster, they have promotion. They have Iron Man in there, making
you don't need 10 scenes. All you needed is the 4 scenes he was in. That's all you needed. And the 4 scenes have a meaning for the story arc and character arc for both Peter and Tony. But okay. Now that I know that you only understand the surface and not what's underneath, I will ask you, what do you think is character arc of Peter? What do you think Peter is going through during that movie?
I'm literally just gonna wrap up.
No. I will ask you genuinely, what do you think is Peter character arc in this movie?
He's literally just trying to be an Avenger. That's pretty much it.
But do you see the metaphor behind it, or you only see it as he only wants to be an Avenger? Because there's a metaphor there. Did you understand the metaphor?
Yeah, I do, and I tried.
Okay, what's the metaphor? Okay, what being an Avenger means?
Means you're more than just a hero. You're an actual protector.
No, No, that's not it, bro. I will
Well,
explain you what an Avenger means with this movie. It means being an adult, a grown up. This is what it means. This movie is about growing up. But of course, you missed the point because you don't have the media literacy for it.
well, it's because the MCU films are terrible and they're terribly written.
No, it's not because you don't understand it that it's bad, man. I'm telling you. I do agree that some of the MCU suck. This I agree. Like Guardian 2 is shite. But to say that Homecoming is on the same level, no, not at all, man. It's it's based on you not understanding what you're watching. You didn't understood the metaphor. So anyway, go move on. You just proved me right. You
I'm
proved me
literally
right
just
because
I'm gonna wrap up because like I can't
no,
even
you proved me right. But
no
keep
because
going.
I couldn't even get my negatives out. Like I didn't even brought all of them.
Bring
Like
them all. I
well, that's the
bring
thing.
them all.
Now I kind of don't want to because I couldn't express, and we're constantly talking about like mediocrity and all that or media stuff, and it's like I couldn't bring it up. So it's
But
like,
go for it. Go for it.
well, okay, but can you just not bring those things up?
Yeah,
And yeah,
I will just say that you're wrong about this movie. But keep going.
okay. I don't know how I'm wrong with my opinions are genuine. Like I said,
I told you media literacy, but keep going.
okay, we're not gonna talk about that. Like I said, some of my issues, like vote, like Iron Man, he's like, even if you don't need to have him as like a like many scenes, you could just have him be like a supporting character at the end of the day.
It was.
But still, like if you put that much promotion, you would assume he plays a role in the film, not like a
He
huge role.
plays a big role, dude. If there's no Stark, there's no Peter character arc. But again, you don't understand the movie and how they're intertwined and how they're connected. But keep going, keep going. I'm losing my mind. Keep going.
I'm losing my mind as well, and to be honest, I'm just gonna wrap up. Um, my overall score for this film, I'm gonna give it a 0.
Because you don't understand it. Perfect.
No, because
So what yes,
yeah,
you don't understand it. You proved me right. But keep going.
yeah, with Guardians, I'm gonna give it a 1. So I hope
Okay.
he's somewhat happy. And I at least didn't give it a 10. Give it a 1.
Okay. So what do you have going on your end of the internet?
Like I said before, just around this time, I'm probably not gonna focus on YouTube for a bit. But I should have some videos coming up. But yeah.
Okay, perfect. I guess we are out for today. That was a fun stream, and the end.